Good morning. Hello. Oh, oh. Hey, Spirit. It is some high energy over here. Hey, Grandma. Hey, Satoe Miyata. Hey, Grandma. I love you. Oh, I love you guys so much. Hello, good morning. How are we doing? How are we doing today? I hope all is well. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you like what we do here and you're on your spiritual journey and you're awakening at this time, we have put all of our own spirit nuggets and metaphysical information for your ascension process that has happened to us and that was beneficial for us. It was given to us by our spirit team, that we used in real time, the guidance given to us by them, and we've documented our whole journey and put all of the knowledge we attain in Spirit News, the podcast, which is on all major platforms. If you are on a spiritual journey and you're transitioning in this time from the head to the heart, it's never been done in this way before, so you're going to have uncertainty, which honestly, it's supposed to be uncertain. The rest is still unwritten, and so you're not supposed to have certainties, but we have put our experiences there and things that have helped us understand from a higher perspective how it all works in cosmic law, and how to overcome certain emotional obstacles, and how to propel yourself forward to keep creating and to keep being in a space of joy and abundance, and how to match that energy on a daily basis. We are putting it all in Spirit News for you. This is a platform. This is a platform that Spirit had us make to develop our spiritual abilities with you guys, to learn the language of spirit, which is not a they don't speak with, they don't have a physical body, so they don't speak with words, or I should say, they don't speak like we do, like to each other. It's energetic, it's symbolic, it's emotional, it's visions. It's like fully formed thought blocks is what they call it, that get, the energy gets dropped like a download into your energy field. Not so much into your mind, but your mind, they do suggest you have a broad reference library, and you're always going forth and attaining knowledge, so that way they have a broader reference library to speak to you with. The more narrow your reference library or your beliefs, the less you can receive their messages, because you're limiting the way they can speak to you. You're saying, you can only speak to me in this way because this is what I believe, and so any other way that doesn't match this, I'm not going to be receiving. So that was for somebody. I'm here today just doing a little development. We had a doozy of a one yesterday. I did an experiment to see if we could use the gift of divination to reveal hidden truths about your past, because Spirit has brought to my attention that most people have traumas from childhood that they don't even remember because of, for whatever reason, whether it's your brain helped you forget, you repressed it, or it's just not something that's, accessible because of how young you were, or, things like that. So if you definitely are into more interested in that, you can check out yesterday's reading. But we're doing energy and thought experiments like that with Spirit to see if we can change the direction or the flow of unhealed people. So today I didn't really have much of a plan or an intention other than, whatever needs to come through. I normally don't come on during the week, but Spirit has guided me to come on more We usually post every weekend for you, every Saturday and Sunday. Spirit said fish. Every Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, at 6 a.m. We do a celebrity read, and we do we try to do true crime. We try to mix it up a little bit. This weekend we're gonna do Shakespeare, so we'll see. He's been coming through a lot. I don't really know much about Shakespeare, so I'm dying to know, okay, so I mean, we'll discuss this on the weekend, but one of the things I was wondering that brought Shakespeare into my awareness is if everything's going on with the elites now, and we did a reading with Cleopatra, and we know that the elites were prevalent even in ancient times, I'm wondering, was Shakespeare part of the elites in that time frame? Because according to Spirit, these archons have been here. They're always here. They don't go anywhere. They're just come during certain cycles to contribute their special talents to the drop in consciousness, and then they're able to affect people in their low consciousness because they thrive off of negative emotions. And then they say it's releasing the titans or putting them back to sleep. So that came up with Shakespeare, and so I asked the question of Spirit, like, well, what did that look like for him? Because he was the celebrity of his time, right? So he would have been in contact with like kings and queens, and we know about the monarchy, that the archons love being part of the monarchy, so it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Let's see what Spirit wants to talk about. I have this deck I made with some names in it. Rent out a house. Under I am. I wonder if that's literal or metaphorical. You guys make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button if you like what we do here, you like our energy, you like our reads. We'd absolutely love to have you. Who needs enemies when you have friends? Under I feel. I died suddenly. Blessings and lessons and lessons and devils. Necessary devils. Rent out a house. Who needs enemies when you have friends? Someone could have rented out a... I was just going to say someone could have rented a house too. And then Spirit said a shadowy figure. Remember I said it could be metaphorical. So in Spirit language, if this says rent out a house, your body can be the house. Your body can be the house of God. Your body is the temple. So there could be somebody who's demonically possessed, possibly a friend. Black magic killed me. Someone who uses black magic. Main male. Someone who's a man. Or there's a male. Or black magic killed the main male. You're an ascended master. You could be an ascended master being helped by one. Someone's in the dark because they use black magic to hurt people. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know, now you do. There's someone who may have not understood the consequences of using magic. They could have oh my gosh, what is it called? STI. Oh, Spirit said feeling. They may have some kind of demonic infection. It's creating conflict and instability. This is Kingy. This is Kingy. Hey, Kingy. Kingy. Black magic killed me. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know. Now you do. Kingy is my... You have a secret admirer. Kingy is my father's... My sister's father. We have different fathers. So, Kingy. Kingy may have been killed with black magic. What's up, Kingy? This is Wally. Wally is my stepfather's father who died of leukemia. And I have main male. Black magic killed Wally? No way. Who needs enemies when you have friends? Tell me more. Secret double life. Don't tell anyone your plans or ideas. Responsibility and discipline in the reverse. Someone wasn't using black magic responsibly. I don't know if there's a way to use black magic responsibly. We suggest you just don't do magic. Don't do manipulation. Don't try to control people or the outcomes of things. Don't look into future timelines. Someone here has a secret double life. Someone who lacks discipline and responsibility. Someone who was sabotaging your plans and your ideas. Or someone's ideas. I have this is Wally and this is Kingy. These are two father figures that are passed over. And I have lost in the dark. Black magic killed me. There's something about a demonic possession. Possibly because someone's been using black magic. Tell me about this secret double life. Or tell me, Wally, what do you tell me about Wally? Wally. Oh my gosh, I used to love Wally. I do love Wally. He used to make me pickles, and they were the best pickles I ever had. He homemade them, and I don't know what he put in that pickle juice, but it was so good. He used to make me pickles all the time. Master in self-sacrifice. What? Wally? Tell me more, Wally. Sacrificed? The pros of dating a practical person are that they are here for the long haul, meaning they do plan things ahead. Secret double life? Who had a secret double life? Who had a secret double life, Wally? A Queen of Cups in reverse. Fickleness, vanity, gullibility, those who sacrifice themselves unnecessarily for others, and a master in self-sacrifice. A Queen of Cups in reverse? What about them? The devil.
Ghostly lanterns.
Ghostly lanterns. Excessive ambition. Someone who's codependent and greedy. Damn. Someone who has addiction, mental health issues. Damn. What about him? What happened? Buried alive. Black magic killed me. Spirit, are you saying, or Wally, are you saying that this person used black magic on you? Yes. Wally died of leukemia, though. Are you saying that black magic caused leukemia? No. Are you saying it wasn't leukemia? No. Misled by false signals. Not able to proceed. Close to utterly, yeah. Close to negotiation. Are you saying black magic accelerated leukemia at a fast rate before it was time? Yes. Yes. Hey, Vance! Hey! Santana wrote a song about Black Magic Woman. Oh, well, let's look up the lyrics. Hey, Vince, how's it going today? Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. Carlos Santana, Black Magic Woman lyrics. Well, there's something here about a woman with my stepfather's dad and my sister's dad. And Kingy died of a sudden heart attack. And Wally died of rapid leukemia. All right, let me see. Got a black magic woman. Got me so blind I can't see. That she's a black magic woman. She's trying to make a devil out of me. Don't turn your back on me. Stop messing around with your tricks. You just might pick up my magic sticks. Got your spell on me. Got your spell on me. Turning my heart into stone. I need you so bad, magic woman. I can't leave you alone. Someone here uses black magic and they're associated, they could be demonically possessed right now from doing a lot of magic. And we don't do magic, but what we're learning about why it's considered, why you shouldn't do it is because you don't need it. You don't need to do magic. Magic is just a test. It's a test from God. What it shows you, it's what we are told by Spirit is the beast from Revelations. It's the apple from Adam and Eve. It's knowledge of blank of energy manipulation. Because people who are unhealed or have mental unwellness, imbalances, trauma bonded demonic attachments, things like that, those are the people that will resort to using magic because they need to feel like they have control, because they don't feel like they have control. And the feeling of not having control is so great that they bypass reason and logic and are in their emotional body where it feels better to know that they can control people from leaving them, or from knowing certain things, or from calling them out on, their bullshit. So, but what it does is over time, especially when you're using baneful magic, or you're using death magic or blood magic, really any type of magic, but it does have, there's levels to this shit. But if you're using energy manipulation to hurt people, what it's doing is it's taking from your own vital force, from your own force field. So that's why it works at first. And because we don't understand energy, and we're not taught in our society about our electric fields, and that the whole universe is magnetic, so therefore we're magnetic, and our energy fields are like torus fields, like a donut, and it meets in the heart center. So you have this giant invisible electromagnetic field that's going in and out like this, like a donut. It's going in and it's getting cosmic knowledge, and then it's going through the energy systems to be filtered, and then it's going back down and up again, and it meets in the heart space. That's why your heart is the seat of your soul. When your heart chakra is activated, you can become activated with the Christ grid, and that's when you can have divine messages, and you can be in you can learn the language of spirit, and you can receive messages. But when you use magic, what you're doing is you're exchanging energy, and these trickster entities that come to you through seances and Ouija boards and whatever it is that you're using. If you're using divination, and you're not ordained by God, or you're not initiated through the heart space, these trickster entities will trick you, and they'll say that I'm the goddess whoever, or I'm your Uncle Larry, or whatever. And they'll trick you into doing certain rituals or certain. Do you think black men will rise up? Believe me, I felt it. I feel it in my neck, been fused twice. Oh, what do you mean fused? I don't know what you mean by fused. And so it'll work, and that's the lure, that's the carrot, like, oh shit, this little one worked. And then your natural human curiosity will, start gravitating to bigger ones. And then if you're emotionally unstable or mentally unwell, you'll start to apply the magic to humans, and it'll grow, and it'll grow, and every time it works, it's taking from your vital force. But when your vital force has become in deficit and you don't have any more vital force, that's when you become an energy vampire, metaphorically. And according to spirit, an energy vampire needs to have other people's energy in order to sustain themselves. So what that would look like is, if they were not receiving a supply of energy from someone else, they'll appear, they'll have lots of addictions, they'll be very out of control, depressed, anxiety, lazy, overindulgent. They possess a lot of the qualities of lower being in a low consciousness. Okay, just very stagnant, not able to move, probably smokes cigarettes, doesn't take care of their body. It will be the opposite of divine qualities. And the reason why is because they have no divine force. They've given it away. They fragmented themselves. And not to mention, they also have energy attachments from traumatic experiences, especially if they were sexually abused or have any kind of parental trauma, things like that. So those become openings or portals or doorways for lower interdimensional entities that feed or that thrive on that particular kind of energy, that thrives in those emotions, and they'll do their best to keep you there with intrusive thought, and to subtly suggest through idea inception, just like the movie Inception, except they're interdimensionals, and you'll think that it's your idea to do this to that person, or to start this, or to do that, to do these things, and it's to keep you in a place where you will never be able to self-reflect. Because in self-reflection is when you come into acceptance of things you cannot change that you've done, and through acceptance comes forgiveness, and through forgiveness comes forward movement. So that's how these interdimensionals need you to be. And so in this situation, there is a person that didn't understand the consequences of using magic, and they may be lost in the dark. But what's what's really, what I'm really getting out of this reading is that whoever this person is, their house is rented out. They're currently checked out. Their consciousness is taking a back seat and they're not in the driver's seat. And so anyone who's encountering this person, just know that they have used black magic to such an amount and have allowed entities to body jump them in such a way that they are not in control anymore. They're lost in the dark. But this person's soul is an ascended master. Okay? And it's funny because I got a vision, and and yesterday when I had the vision, Spirit said savagely. So from a higher perspective, what I want to say is that there are certain ascended masters that have already mastered the earth plane, and they come on purpose. They volunteer to come and be devils, to be in devil energy. So their incarnation might, have a lot of trauma. It'll have a lot of dark qualities to it. They'll exhibit dark qualities, but they're doing this because of a soul contract. And the vision I got, I laugh when I see it, because when Spirit said savagely, it was like, oh, that's it. That's the feeling. They're in this scenario, and it was represented by the soul of my mother. And I don't know if it is my mother, but it was just the way I saw it. It was my mother's true essence, and the way that she is in her soul, and the way her soul looks, the way she looks in her perfected self. And she's an ascended master, and we have a circle of ascended masters, and we we take turns being a light force or being a dark force in our circle of in our soul family. And we do this for variety, so we can, because it's like a 2-for-1. We get to have some soul evolution for things that we want to like try and overcome and see if we can come into remembrance for, and we will slightly change different dynamics of the incarnation we're in. And so what I saw was my mother and her perfected soul. She's savage, man. She loves this shit. She's like an ascended master to the maximum. And she loves going into the hardest, most treacherous, most emotionally unstable, imbalanced existences, and causing an upheaval, because when she does that, or when the soul does that, it causes such a big shift in the dynamic that she's in, that it's a paradigm shifter. It shifts paradigms. And so what is a blink of an eye in time on the other side, in the twilight realm, in the spirit realm, is just a whole life here. And so for us in our spirit form, when we're dealing with these really heavy issues that feel really dense in this reality, over there, it's like, yeah, nailed it, I did it, yeah, And so she doesn't take breaks. What I saw in my vision is she doesn't take breaks between her incarnations. Usually, when a soul decides to have a dark incarnation, where they are primarily in a dark force, due to trauma and stuff, it takes time for them to filter through, to do a life review. But this is an ascended master, so this person's done this numerous times. And so what I saw in my vision is, whatever incarnation she's in now, that body dies, and she goes back home, and then I see her for a split second, and she went like this, and she went, see ya, on to another one, and she dropped from a higher realm down into density for another one. And so I was just that was yesterday. So it's funny that it's coming up today. You're an ascended master. So the point is that there, if you, when you come to earth, there's going to there's polarity, and there's souls that choose to have a dark incarnation or a light incarnation, or in the middle, and you just kind of see what direction it goes in. There are souls that have a mission and a purpose that require necessary devils in order to push them into their soul mission. If they didn't have these polarities or this push from a force, whether it's dark or light, then it wouldn't propel them forward into the seat they need to be in at the time they need to be it. And so there's a person here that is experiencing perhaps demonic possession, but this is a ascended master. So there may be some kind of attachment, because also what you need to understand is that whatever they're doing in their dark incarnation, when you're in that body and you have put yourself in so much deficit, it's hard for you to remember who you really are. And so most likely that human will never, that current incarnation is not going to remember if they've done so much black magic and so much conflict to this level where they really embody this energy hardcore. They're not going to remember. And so there's this interim where when they cross over, or when they're about to die, they have a fear of dying deliberately. They have a fear of dying because of all the things they've done. But once they do die, once their body dies and they cross the threshold and they go into the other state of existence, then they realize, oh, I'm back. So there's somebody here who could be demonically possessed. They went hard in the paint, and they went real hard. And they may have hurt a few father figures. There may be some kind of father wound here. This person may view, fathers that have, I don't know what the word is. A father figure, someone who's stable, someone who's an authority figure, someone who's held in high regard. If it's a father figure, they may have, a father wound where that triggers them. And there's a couple father figures here. I have my own came out, but it doesn't have to be my own. Kingy, which is my sister's father, and Wally, which is my stepfather's father, where these could have been two men that triggered this person who deals in black magic, or who may have sent. And black magic doesn't have to mean spells or anything. It could mean that she poisoned them, or she, because I have a Queen of Cups, I say she, or she was sending them evil eye, or she wished that they would die. And this person is an ascended master, so they have spiritual ability. So their thoughts are very powerful, and what they think, your thoughts turn to things. So whether you want them or not, or whether you're conscious of it or not, your thoughts turn to things. So this person may be maybe on a deathbed, or maybe confronted with death at this time. And they're having a hard time having discipline or taking responsibility because they've been living a double life. They're afraid that they're afraid of death, basically. So they could potentially be, trying to elongate, them dying or something like that. Yeah, they're trying to stop a tower from happening. They're trying to stop justice from happening because they know they're trying to avoid tragedy. What do they think's going to happen if clarity comes? Because clarity's coming and justice is coming. What do they think is going to happen? The magician, I can't make it up. That everyone's going to find out that they've been a magician, that they've been doing manipulation, that they've hurt people, that they're the reason why a lot of painful situations happened. They're afraid of people knowing their double life. Yeah, because they're the reason for a lot of devastation. They're the reason for a lot of misery and lack of fulfillment. You know? This person needs to release their fears. They need to let the secrets be revealed. Because the truth is coming out whether they want it or not. So they're just deceiving themselves if they think that they can control the outcome of this. They've tried to control the outcome of a lot of things. I have 1 and 11. And it's not working anymore. I know this guy named Tyrese who does magic, but he calls it black magic. Well, you should stay away from him. You should get away from him ASAP. Trapped.
Shift in reality.
This person's trapped because they know that they've sacrificed a lot of people and that they lacked direction and that they trapped themselves. They've used lies, seduction.
Lost.
They impose their values onto others. I have a Queen of Wands in reverse and a Queen of Cups in reverse. They've been bad luck. They've been bad luck to partnerships. They've been the reason why they're jealous of people's partnerships. There's something they do to people's partnerships. To break people up or to cause endings for people's if they see a successful relationship, they do black magic to cause a tower because it triggers them when they see someone with a good man because they have a father wound. When it comes to marriage and respect and potential soulmates, people who are successful or stable, they have a why do they have a trigger for that? What makes them so upset about that they have to use black magic on people? Like why can't they get over it? Why can't they heal? It has something to do with them coming in as a dark incantation signal of unease, heavy tidings. Yeah, it's because, like I said, this is why that message was important. We have to understand spiritual dynamics. We're spiritual. When our body dies, we are 100% a non-physical entity having a human experience. When our physical body dies, we do not retain the physical body. We just get a new one. We have a new experience. And
Operation.
Spirit says you need to understand the operation. Yes. There's souls that come in specifically to have a dark
To
haunt places, to have a dark incarnation, and that's this person. This person's whole goal, they thrive on this shit. This is an ascended master, and I think what happens is that because we don't understand spiritual concepts or the order of the way it works in the spirit realm, this person is having a hard time ripping the band-aid off and just getting the whole point of their incarnation over with, which is to have this tower about all of the devastation they brought. And you might ask, well, why do
time of his death.
The time of his death, you might ask, well, if there's a God, then why would they want there to be so much suffering or have people cause so much devastation. And you're right, like it is hard to accept, and it's hard for a lot of people to wrap their mind around, but that's what this place is for. And so if we're not allowing the natural laws of this realm to unfold, and we are not understanding the higher concepts of why we come here, then yeah, it can be very upsetting, but it's to cause a shift in reality. It's to cause a shift, a paradigm shift. Without conflict, there cannot be change. If nothing ever goes wrong and you don't have people in your life or places or things that cause conflicts or that cause trouble, Loki trickster energy, then how are you supposed to grow? How are you supposed to learn? How are you supposed to become a leader if you're not put through experiences that elicit the need for you to lead yourself out of those situations? And so that's why you have people who have this energy. Now, I will say that there are people that are in the middle road, that where it could go either way. They're like, we'll just see how it goes, and I'll play any role, because there's many souls who have already done this 1,000 million times, and including myself. My spirit says that I could write a book, if you will, about Earth incarnations, but that's my mission objective. My soul's mission objective is to help the seeds to grow into an indigo. And so we take turns. Sometimes we don't, we want to switch it up a little, because on the spiritual realm, and this is funny because I saw this before I came on, and the card was, it's supposed to be fun. In the spirit realm, the ascended masters have fun, like planning out the incarnation. They're like, oh, I'm going to do this to them, and I'm going to do that to them, and I'm going to be their mother, and I'm going to do this to them. And then when they find out, when they're 43, they're going to be like, what? But they're already, it's like, it's a blueprint. It's a blueprint of design of what it needs, like
politics,
like markers you need to hit, that the soul needs to hit, the ascended master needs to hit for a certain directive, for a shift in consciousness. And so that in this earth realm, it happens through trauma, because it's the quickest, fastest way to come into remembering how the universe works. Why we have free choice, live and learn, most only touch the stove once. Yeah, but just like my kids, my kids play around with touching the stove, and it kind of reminds me of the ascended master, where like, you're going to get burned, and yet you still try to see how fast you can touch it anyway without being burned. You're like, cha, cha, And so it's kind of like that. And so there's a person here who has an ascended master soul, but they chose such a hard, tough road because they love that shit. They love that shit in the spirit realm. Right now, not having such a good time. But in the spirit realm, they're like, hell yeah, I'm hitting my markers. I'm making the goal. Mission accomplished. They're very excited that they hit all their markers. But on the physical realm right now, in real time, in their physical vessel, they could be on the brink of death. They could be deathly afraid to die and resisting change. Oh my gosh, resisting change. Oh, Spirit just gave me a song that made me cry, and I saved it. Because I put playlist on shuffle, and it gave me this song, and I listened to it 3 times, and I was like, ugh, so this is making my heart hurt. Where the hell is my library? What the hell? What? Let me go home. Sometimes Spotify, it's too confusing. Oh, this is home. Damn, where's my like songs, bro? The hell? What? I don't understand. Now I can't even listen to it? Just give me my fucking library! That's so weird. My library is gone. Maybe if I go home. Profile.
Malevolent reputation.
Malevolent reputation. Yeah, this Ascended Master. Oh, here, it's by Noah. Noah Cyrus. Oh, here, it was called July with Leon Bridges. What? What the hell is going on? Now it won't even let me read the lyrics. I was reading the lyrics before. I don't know what's going on, but whatever it is, don't want me to read these lyrics. Noah Cyrus with Leon Bridges, July lyrics. Okay. I've been holding my breath. I've been counting to 10. Over something you said, I've been holding back tears. While you're throwing back beers, I'm alone in bed. You know I'm afraid of change. Guess that's why we stay the same. So tell me to leave. I'll pack my bags, get on the road. Find someone that loves you better than I do, darling. I know, 'cause you remind me every day I'm not enough, but still I stay. Feels like a lifetime just trying to get by while we're dying inside. I've done a lot of things wrong, loving you being one, but I can't move on. Temperature. And oh my gosh. And then temperature. I got another song, La Imperatrice, which is French for temperature, and it's called Scared of Girls. You're scared of girls, if only they were guys. Scared of girls, they're planning a nasty trick. You can feel it. Scared of girls, they are way worse than you think. Scared of girls. With them, you can't say anything without thinking. Always choosing your words. Disobey your desires and adapt to the tempo. You don't understand everything. Everything is too blurry, like you had swallowed water. Drowned like all these idiots. Girls, they breathe underwater. They are way worse than in Shakespeare. They have teeth under their skin. Play the martyrs, hide a smile, revolver in the back, the big bad wolf. They're everywhere, you can feel the threat. You say you're not macho, but they're not good people. Yeah, there's two women here, or a couple, or 3 women that are all dark incarnations. They're all dark incarnations. They have all decided to show up in a dark energy. And they could right now, and this says hazy illusions. And it says everything is too blurry. They could be in spiritual jail right now because they went hard. They went hard in their darkness. Joan could be someone. Twin flames. Yeah, they went hard, possibly with on someone who has a twin flame union, because they get threatened when people have successful partnerships. Pity the fools who mock the queen's grace. Yeah, and there could be what's that called? What's that called? Because I have twin flames and the queen's grace. For kingdom spouse. Someone may have a twin ray kingdom spouse. And that's like high divine order. So
time,
what that means is that this couple, whoever they're mad at, I mean, they're really mad at all couples or all, they all have father wounds. I have up to 3 women here. And Spirit said, scared of girls. They're way worse than you think. So this is, these women are black magic practitioners, or they buy black magic. They're trying to resist a change because they want to avoid tragedy, but they're just delaying the inevitable. They're trying to pick up the pieces and start anew, but as so you sow, so shall you reap. They're not receiving the messages that God's giving them. They keep trying to project negativity, trying to create new beginnings, but that's not how you create a new beginning. But they're afraid of change. Why are they afraid of change besides losing everything? Like, what are they avoiding? What are they avoiding? You want me to change cards? Because they've been ruining people's relationships. There's something about them. They ruin people's harmonious relationships, possibly with black magic. They killed people. Belief in myself. Who I want to be. They're afraid to, they're trying to avoid who they've become. They don't want to admit to themselves that they've become these people. They never envisioned themselves becoming this way. They don't want to, they're trying to avoid who they've become. Because they know that justice is coming in.
1800s,
And that clarity is being revealed. And that people are starting to realize the truth about these women. And that they've been ready for a fight. They've had armor on. That they've been inspired by fire. That they've been rewarding themselves in rhythm and pace by starting fires, by causing towers and starting fires through magic. They have problems with intimacy and trusting themselves. They've been avoiding doing the inner work because it's easier to just do the magic and to get what they want with the magic. Choice. See the apple. They ate the apple. It's like the readings we do for celebrities that do the fertility rituals. They may do fertility rituals, but what happens is when you keep doing magic to get your way and you don't ever experience a natural fall or failure because you keep trying to use energy manipulation to control the outcome, what happens is that you never fail. Failing is a natural part of the experience here, because in our perfectedness everything works out all the time, and that's why we like to come here for the limited experience we can have, because in our perfected form we're completely limitless and everything works out for us and we're pure positive energy. And so it's fun for us to have limitations, because where's the fun in forever? Living in a sea of time, if there was no end or beginning, how would we know what love is? And so but if you're using magic to control or manipulate the outcomes to always go in your favor, and then you do magic, you finally come to a place where you do magic on somebody, Spirit said maybe, where you can't do magic on them because there might not be a lot at this time of people like that, but there will be more and more. And so you're going to see more and more chaotic backfires or people going through mental health because of these people who dabble in magic that have underlying mental health issues, because people with mental health never say they're crazy. They don't see themselves in that way. They live in an illusion where they're the stable ones, where they're the responsible ones, where they're the queens or the kings, and they don't have the ability to see themselves because they have not looked at themselves in so long. And so that's what's going on here. There's been a 5 to 10 year cycle of possibly 3 women consistently doing magic on loved ones, on friends, on work, on money, on everything. Anything you can imagine, they do magic on it. Because they want to fulfill their desire. They want to fulfill their desires. And they want certainty. They want to know that they can get anything they want anytime, and they want it to be for certain, and they don't care who it affects. But now there's something. Tell me what happened. Tell me what changed. What shifted here? There's something. There's some kind of twin flame dynamic. Someone who's walking in their royalty, their royal DNA. Someone who's activated someone who's chosen, basically. Someone who's in alignment with their divine energy. I don't know who that is. It could be you. But you possibly have a twin flame union that they attacked. That's destined to have. What is this twin flame union destined to accomplish? Who is this twin flame dynamic that they attacked? Yeah, spell work. I can't make it up. They're infatuated with doing spell work on this couple because they're obsessed. They're in denial that someone here could have a twin ray, twin flame, pure love, kingdom spouses. And that's where marriage comes from. That's like where the
emotion.
That's where the idea of marriage comes from. Divine unions of it's like the union of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. They both represented Christ consciousness in the feminine and the masculine, and when they came together, they were in unity consciousness. That's Christ consciousness, and that's where marriage comes from. So you don't have. So nowadays we just marry because we're told by society that if you love someone, you marry them, but it's really supposed to represent a spiritual marriage when you unite with someone who is also walking in divine energy, and you merge those two energies together to become united, and you have the ability to be more powerful in the people, places, and things you affect energetically. You are a walking embodiment of the marriage between masculine and feminine, and both of these people will exhibit the opposite traits of each other, where one represents the feminine energy and one represents the masculine energy, and when you combine them together, it's like the yin and the yang. And it happens on a spiritual level, so you don't have to go into a physical marriage contract to have a spiritual union. But there is a couple here that is exhibiting this dynamic, and these people know about it, and they're so upset about it. They're obsessed, and they're doing spell work to try to keep these people apart. But they've done, and it could have been going on for 10 years, but they've been doing it so much, and it hasn't been. I pity the fools who mock the Queen's grace. These people are so envious that they could be mocking God. If God ordained these two people to be together, it's for a reason. Let's find out what that reason is. What's the reason that these kingdom spouses are needed at this time? Oh, that's too many. What's the reason these kingdom spouses are needed at this time?
Andrea.
Spirit said Andrea. Yeah, they're trying to... the reason why this couple is meant to be is because they're meant to be an example of what it looks like to see the red flags in people. Like, this couple is meant to be an example of what it's like to have two people that are green flags, that share common values, common morals. This couple is meant to be an confirmation is meant to be an example of what a divine union looks like, because nowadays, we've been
Background will make
we've
noise.
been indoctrinated with the idea that getting married is the natural course of life. And we don't really, we think that if we're with someone for a long time, then that means we just marry them automatically. But if you go watch our Spirit News episode about
Shuffling.
how spirit how spirit views men and women, from a spiritual perspective, you'll see that the way we choose our spouses is imbalanced, and we often are choosing another person to make us happy instead of another person who pushes you to be better. We often choose people that are complacent and don't expect us to be better because, God forbid we do better than them, and then they become jealous and all that. When really you should have a person that, no matter, if they're a man, woman, whatever they are physically, energetically, you guys allow each other to grow, and you call each other out on your bullshit when you're presenting bullshit, and you both respect each other's opinion, and it's not a push pull, it's a wave like this. It's not like it's like my way, my way. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know I made you feel that way. Thank you for telling me. I can change that. It feels different. And so that's what this couple is ordained to do by God. And there's a lot of people who are attacking it with black magic, trying to get these two people to look at each other like they have problems. So, if they send spell work to these two people, what they're trying to do is have each other look at each other like they're a problem, or like they're like they're a walking red flag, or like they're deceptive. That's why they're doing it. But they're doing it because they have a father wound that makes them triggered by successful partnerships. Yeah, that's the controversy. That's the drama. They can't stand that this couple exists and that they aren't a part of it, and that they don't have that. But not everyone is meant to have that. These are dark incarnations that were never meant to have true love. And because of their indoctrination into our society, they keep thinking a thought that makes them believe that if they just had a kingdom spouse, that they would feel good about themselves. But that's not true, because that's not how love works. It doesn't matter who you're with. If you don't feel strongly about yourself, if you're not Nine of Pentacles energy, if you're not your own abundance and if you're not mature, if you don't have an abundant mindset, it doesn't matter. If you get a kingdom spouse, you'll just ruin it. It's not going to make you happy. You're just going to ruin it, because you're not matching. And plus, you can't get a kingdom spouse if you're not matching that energy to match the kingdom spouse. You'll be two different energies, and you'll repel each other, and you'll only attract people that are matching your devil magician energy. Manipulative, deceptive. You're walking red flags, and yet you're jealous of a couple that's a pure love twin flame dynamic, and you're jealous because you're like, why can't I have that? But if you had it, you would ruin it, and you're not a match to it energetically, so you can't receive something you're not a match for. You'll only receive things that you match to, because we're magnetic. Understand? So these people, there's some kind of truth being revealed right now about what these people do, about the contracts they make, and there's some kind of karmic justice and consequences coming in because they've been projecting spell work at a couple, trying to get them to break up because they're jealous. Yeah, because they're jealous. But this couple is protected by spirit. So, I don't know, maybe in the past they were able to cause towers with this couple and create a lot of hazy illusions to get this couple to look at each other like there were red flags, and that might have worked in the past. Why isn't it working now? Why? There's something about how it's not working right now. Growing together, yeah. Because this couple, whatever this couple went through, they decided to forgive each other. There's some forgiveness that has healed something. Growing together, lesson learned, soul bond, sharing a journey. Ooh, my scar is tingling. The reason why the spell work isn't working is because whatever these people put this couple through, this twin flame dynamic, this kingdom spouses, whatever they were put through some shit, I will say. They were put through some shit. There's towers, the devil, the magician, the hanged man. They were definitely put through some shit. And there may have even been some cheating and some deception, and even, it worked for a time. But there's something that shifted in this dynamic where this couple forgave each other, letting go, peace, spiritual release. These people thought that they were projecting. They're like, well, what would, if someone cheated on me, I would do this, or if someone did this, I would do this. And so they projected spell work or energy manipulation for things that would get them upset, so that way they would break up, because they thought, well, it would make me upset, it's going to make them upset. But this is a twin flame union. This is a kingdom spouses. This is a royal lineage locked in. And so what's funny about it, I told you there's dark incarnations. Well, this whole dynamic was set up before anyone was even born. This was already part of the blueprint. And so this couple was already destined, like God already knew that these people already knew what they were going to do to this couple before they incarnated. And the couple knew too. This is an agreement on a spiritual level where all parties agreed, and these are all ascended masters. This is a group of ascended masters. You have to have a particular set of markers and a particular set of events. Mother. Oh, it could be a mother. Spirit said mother. And I was talking about my mom earlier. They're ascended masters, and they go hard. They're savage. This dynamic, this trio of ascended masters went super hard in order to propel this twin flame union to be in alignment together, because they have an important role for the future, as an example of kingdom spouses, of what it looks like to be in divine alignment as a union, as a Mary Magdalene and a Yeshua energy. I'm not saying they are them. I'm just saying it's the same union. It's the same kind of union. And so it brings a lot of shifting of energy and beliefs about what love is and what it should look like and how it operates, and unconditional love. So what's this couple supposed to do? We'll do the dream house, because since it's kingdom spouse, what is the point of being in alignment with divine unions? What are they supposed to do? Fireplace, renewal, insight, warmth, to embrace a new start. Let old doubts rest in the quiet glow. Yeah, this couple is protected now because they got themselves to a place of forgiveness. And so, but these people that, these ascended masters that are in dark incarnations, they will not snap out of the illusion they're in until they cross over. And so they're going to keep on trying to do the same things that worked before. They're going to keep projecting these things towards these couples that are coming into union, because that's their job. That's their assignment. And they're on assignment. They're doing their job. It's just that it doesn't work now because they've already reached a threshold where they're like a marble. And Spirit always says you can't stick a marble to Velcro. So the goal is to make your field like a marble. So that way when you're being psychically attacked or evil-eyed or energy manipulation, you're not an electromagnetic match to it. And so therefore you can't stick a marble to Velcro. Okay? Tell me. So they could toilet. Oh my gosh, toilet, empty, chaos, restart, flush away life's chaos, and embrace healthier interactions. Yeah. So this couple walked away from all of the toxicity that was preventing them from uniting, from being in union. People, places, things, substances, addictions. They both decided to walk away from all of those things that match the dark energy, so that way they could both restart anew together. And now, because they're not matching the energy, now that they're not matching the energy anymore, or at least they're trying. I'm not saying that divine unions are perfect. All relationships take work, and it takes compassion and patience and tolerance sometimes, because you still have to be individuals. You have to be able to speak your mind, and you have to be able to set boundaries, and you have to be able to communicate what you want, and you have to be able to identify your emotions and be able to speak on your emotions and be vulnerable with each other. And and you have to both want the same thing. There's a lot of times where there's a lot of twin flame unions where the two people aren't ready, or aren't on the same trajectory for healing, and that's okay. But this union is there. And so because they decided to forgive each other and start anew and change their behavior towards each other, or start changing in some way that's different. Lock it. They locked it in with their divine assignment. They could possibly have divine children, children that are meant to be future waymakers or future leaders, that they need to be in divine alignment in order to teach the children the divine morals and values that will be required in the future. But because they're a marble now, these people are still sending spell work. But the thing about energy and the thing about magic is, like we said, it's taking from your own field, and then not only will you be in deficit of your own energy and become an energy vampire when you project the energy manipulation. Educational. This is educational. When you project the negative energy manipulation to people who are not matching it, it doesn't disappear, and it doesn't get absorbed, and it doesn't just disappear. It doesn't go away. Energy cannot be destroyed. And so if it's not being absorbed by the person or people because it's not matching anymore, it has to go back, or it has to go somewhere. And it usually just goes back to the one who sent it, because it's like, bing, boom, bing, didn't match, go back. And so these people are in chaos, and they're feeling empty, and they're having bad luck and upheaval, and and disruptions, and they have lack of control, and there's setbacks and delays because they're resisting change. They're resisting changing their mindset. They're resisting changing their perspective about what's going on here. They're resisting that. And they're resisting it. Why are they resisting it? Why are they resisting accepting a different mindset? Coffee maker. Awakening, energy flow, something crucial is brewing, set to stream into your future. Uninvited. Owl. Temptation. Light bulb. Bedroom. Spirit said bedroom. Because they're not brave. They're finding it hard to be brave. They don't know how to create a meaningful connection. Because these are people that have relied on external things to bring them joy and happiness. And Spirit always says, you can't expect people, places, and things to make you happy. You have to be happy first. You have to be happy now, no matter what you're going through. Even if you're in despair, because of polarity, there's always if there's something bad, there's something good. But it's your mindset. If you're not willing to change your mind and the way you're looking at something, then you're never going to receive what it is you're looking for. You're always going to be chasing it. And so these people are afraid to change. These people are afraid to change their way of thinking, because if they embrace a new insight or a new way to think about something, then they have to admit to themselves that they did horrible things just to feel validated, just to feel good, just to feel like they matter, because of jealousy and envy. And that's a hard pill to swallow for people, like, oh, like I killed people with death magic because I was jealous. I was jealous that they were happier than me. Like, it's a hard pill to swallow, So they're having a hard time changing the way they're thinking. It's just easier to keep continuing to do what they've been doing than to admit they were wrong. Probably because they have, some mental health issues, honestly. So tell me about this.
Johnson.
Spirit said Catherine and Johnson. Tell me about this couple. That's too many. Please tell me about this couple. Yeah, it really bothers them that this couple is a twin flame union, that they're meant to be together, and that there's nothing protection. They're trying to, it was in reverse and strength in reverse. So it's making them frustrated that they can't, that you're protected, or that they're protected because Spirit's protecting them, because they made it past the threshold. So now, because they were trying to ruin their protection and their strength, now they have no strength and they have no protection. And this couple is not frustrated. This couple's not in fear. This couple's in trust, 100% trust of each other. That's what they're trying to prevent. That they're trying to get them to love. I can't make it up. This couple is in unconditional love, and they keep sending spell work to make them think otherwise, to get them upset, to get them to fight, but that's not happening. Reflection. Spirit side, it's time to reflect. It's time to look at yourselves. It's time to face your pain. Stop being so hungry for what other people have. Start taking caution. Start learning about energy. Cleanse it. Cleanse yourself to find peace. What is it that keeps you from being loved? Your anger. What are you angry about? What are these people angry about? Father. Told you, father wound. They have a father wound. Possibly what their father did to them. What did their father do to them? What did their father do to them? Overindulgence, unhappy, taking advantage of others, harmful excess, fear, anxiety, deep unhappiness, stress, burden. Yeah, they had a bad childhood. And there's something about the father. Tell me more about the father. Take me out to a ball game. They possibly didn't have possible sexual abuse. And look at the smoke in the mother. The mother didn't notice sexual abuse going on. This could have played a part in their perception of things. Yeah, since they were a child, needing attention. Look at this. Look at me. Needing validation and attention because they didn't get it from their parents. Yeah, needing adoration and love, not receiving it. Always attracting salesmen who sold a pitch of love, but it was always bad. Come to the big show. Always looking for people to save them. You know, it's like wanting a quiet, happy home, being a wife, but always, getting this, being held captive and being controlled. And, if you want this, then if you want to attract this, then you have to be that energy. But when you're always, someone who's always needs an adrenaline rush or needs to be hurting people to feel good, you're not going to attract a peaceful life. Okay? Yeah, these are women that use children for energy. They use children for energy.
15.
Yeah, they're very fake. They're like politicians. They want to be looked at as heroes and looked at as, it's a classic chip on the shoulder. It's any celebrity. It's, people think that having adoration and fame is something that will bring you love and the feeling of being loved, but that's not true. So, their perspective is, why do they get a kingdom spouse? Why do they get love and I don't, Well, let's ruin it to show them, But you're not ever going to receive love that way. That's not how you receive love. Wrong route. Yeah, they went the wrong way. Trust signals the universe knows your path. Yeah, they keep using anger in attempt to mask insecurity. There it is. There it is. I'm indifferent, limits, no compassion, disinterested, neutral, emotional distance. Yeah, it's like make me feel loved, but I don't love myself, but you make me feel loved. Go ahead, do what I need you to do so I feel validated. And if you don't do it, then you don't love me. You know? It's very mature. Game over though. Spirit says game over. It's time to break the mirage. You had your fun and you did your thing, but the mask is coming off. Truth is being revealed. It's time. They came into union. They're holding the frequency. You can't disrupt their frequency anymore. They've unalived people with black magic. Possibly 10 of swords and 4 of swords. Fear, anxiety, stress, feeling overwhelmed, backstabbing, betrayal, enemies, bitching, bad-mouthing, bitterness. This is them. Because they're dark incarnations. They're ascended masters who came with a mission to cause chaos. Because they needed this union to come into alignment. And it wouldn't have gone into alignment if they weren't pushed into chaos. Because you got to come out of the chaos like a marble. It's a cleaning process. They've been cleansed. This couple's been cleansed. What can these people expect going forward? Ruthlessness. I mean, they're dark incarnations, so they can expect to never feel full. Like their whole mission was to come to this earth, to be in this energy, to fulfill a mission, and it's been fulfilled. And so they're going to live out their lives in the energy that they came into. They're possibly born that way. I'm not sure. Spirit, were they born this way, or was it supposed to happen over time? Were they born this way? Wait, let me do this one. Were they born this way? Yes. Yeah. A good investment is paying up. So you see, this is a multi-dimensional educational live. It's discussing the way it looks from a spiritual perspective. From our linear perspective, it looks like betrayal and deception and, painful endings and, lack of trust and having to cut people off. It looks that way. Looks like liars and criminals. Okay, sure. It is that. It is also that, but on a higher perspective, there's a blueprint for these events to happen, and it was a theory that was experimental in nature, where they were hoping that with this culmination of events, and because over there on the spirit realm, it's like a blink of an eye. There's no time. And so this is all happening now. But for us, it's taking a lifetime, and and it's a little slower. But that's why it's really important to have a relationship with your spirit team, because they can tell you, what's on your field, what needs, what time does this need to be healed by, and not that there's, a time limit. It'll just be extended, or you'll just have to wait longer, or it'll be delayed. But there are things that we're trying to achieve as a soul with a particular set of instructions or directives that we are not privileged to in our human selves. We are cut off from that knowing. But your spirit team can see all that, and they can know who's in your field, what's on your field, what needs to be cleared, the things you should do, and they also can guide you for the temperance that's needed to initiate all these markers, or to overcome all these shadows, or to clear your field. And the reason why it's important to be in relationship with them is so they can tell you when it's right to do a certain meditation, or a certain journaling, or okay, now you need to fast because you need to detox your body from these things, or you should drink more tea, or you should lay off the salt, or whatever it is that's withholding light from your field from entering. They know it, they see it, that on that level. And so they knew that this union was destined to come into unity, and that these people played a very important role in the design of how that would happen, or how it would unfold. And they said, I just heard perfect time, it's right on time. But unfortunately, and I know that these people might be, wondering why this is happening now, because when you're a dark incarnation, you don't have the ability to know, or to have the knowing, because of how dirty your field is. You're not a marble. You're like a marble covered in mud. And so that prevents light from coming in, and light is where you receive the downloads, or the divine messages, or the knowing of what's to come, or if something feels right or wrong. So they don't have that. So they don't have ability to get a higher perspective of their situation. But I'm telling you right now, these are ascended masters. Yeah, liminal spirit. These are ascended masters that are savage when it comes to being whatever they choose to incarnate as. They go hard, and they love it, and they enjoy it, and that's why they have volunteered. And it's part of a soul circle. So whoever these people are is part of this twin flames soul circle, where they all agreed to play a certain part and to project certain things. So like a domino effect. So a certain effect would eventually catch up to where it needed to be, in order for this couple to be in union together, and to overcome, and to forgive, and to be the example of love, unconditional love and forgiveness. And then they have children that are divine children, and those children are going to be the future leaders that were raised by the divine, raised by the divine union. No honey traps, no false love, no having children to keep a person. It was all planned, and it was all ordained, and it was in divine alignment for this couple to be. So I think that's really cool. Any suggestions for these people? How can we help these people? That's too many. How can we help these people? Unfortunately, they're dark incarnations, so they're just, they made an oath or a pact to agree to be cut off from divinity, so they can, continue to play their part. Without them doing what they did, this couple wouldn't be in the place that God needed them to be. Judgment, the top of the deck. Judgment. So
He chose career.
So they just have to go through their renewal process. They have to hold their composure. They have to know that everything's going to be all right. This was all falling into place the way it's supposed to be. They're going to have to start taking their portion of blame. And this is a time for reflection that they're going to be in. They're kind of being forced to look at themselves. I don't know if this will, perpetuate them into a different consciousness. I'm not sure. Come home to your body. Oh, they're probably going to cross over. Yeah, they're probably going to cross over. Once they, Spirit says that once they come into humility, once they accept their, what was the word? Once they accept their portion of blame and ask for forgiveness, they'll be able to come home with a air of humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. Yeah, they're probably gonna cross over because they've been doing death magic and stuff, and it's time. Family, yeah, this could be your family. Self-love. Yeah, wasn't I talking about soul family? Yeah, it's a soul circle. You all made an agreement for all of this to play out. This situation is rooted in an emotional experience with a family member, which we can help you to understand and heal. In your mind and heart, surround this person, yourself, and the experience with calm blue light and many angels. Be open to the gifts within the situation and allow yourself to feel peace. Self-love. Let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. Yeah. Dog friend. Today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and friend. That's so funny because I was working out in the workout room and we have these mirrors on the wall, and I kept seeing this dog that kept morphing into between this and a kangaroo, like being an anthropomorphic, I think it's called, being with a dog head. So that's interesting. Oh, this looks like my doggy Deja. Aw, right here. That looks like Deja. Oh, I miss Deja. Yeah. Oh, see only love. Look past the seeming errors, mistakes, and misunderstandings and see only the love within. Each person, including yourself, your resolute focus upon the love that underlies every situation brings about healing in undreamed of ways. Yeah, so these people are going to cross over, but they won't cross over until they find a way to accept and to have humility for what they did. It's because they're dark incarnations but ascended masters, so there's something about if they don't find a way to accept the things they've done and change their perspective and take blame and gain a little humility before they pass, they're going to be stuck in the void for a little, or purgatory, where they have to go through this I don't know what to call it, like transitionary stage where they get, because when you've done black magic and when you've hurt people and you were this energy, the specific energy, when you cross over without apportioning blame to yourself for the things you've done to create humility, you get stuck because because you bind yourself to those things you did, and you create your own hell when you cross over, and you put yourself in a cycle where you constantly relive those moments until you get to a place where you can finally forgive yourself. And so these incarnations, these dark incarnations, are so brave on a spiritual realm because they're willing to risk that, and some of them have gotten stuck for quite a bit, but that's why Spirit says, remember, you need to exalt yourself and create some kind of humility before you cross over. You're going to get stuck and you're not going to get to volunteer again until you get out of that cycle. 111 in the chat. So Spirit is suggesting to them, love again, that they start taking responsibility for what they've done, or by the time they cross over, they're going to be reliving those moments. Whatever it was they did, they'll be reliving them over and over and over again for as long as it takes till they snap out of it. But if they know they're going to pass, conclusively, if they know they're going to pass and they know they fucked up, it's in their best interest to just, the Spirit said they're legends. They're legends in the spirit world. They're known to be some of the best dark incarnations known to the whole land of spirit. They're legends. And so Spirit is reminding them that if you want to get over this hurdle, you gotta forgive yourself. You gotta take some accountability. You gotta have some humility before you cross, because if you cross without the humility, you're gonna get stuck repeating whatever. If you think about all the things you've done that are keeping you in this energy, you're gonna have to redo those over and over again. So just I'm just letting you know. Time to let go. It's time to say, okay, I fucked up. I let my emotions get the best of me. I acted out of anger, and I did some things I'm not proud of, and I hurt people, and I feel really bad about that. And I can't change it, but I'm ready to let go and let God, something like that, Yeah, liberation. Liberation at the top of the deck. Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit. I love you so much. I hope that this was educational for you, that it helps you understand a little bit how it works from a higher perspective, to give you some clarity. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.